In this presentation, we're going to talk about professionalism and communication. We like to say here in the service learning world that probably about 99% of the problems that you're going to encounter throughout the semester come down to communication. So that's why this is a really important topic.
So we recognize that everyone on the team brings different experiences to the table. So this might be a review for some, and others, this might be the first time you're hearing about some of these things. But we like to give some baseline suggestions when it comes to email etiquette. First, make sure you have a salutation and one that's appropriate for your audience. And so, for example, if you want to say dear, hi, hello, anything like that, maybe not hey with 10 Y's at the end of it when you're emailing your community partner. Also, having a signature line, you'll see that in a lot of professionals around campus and in other organizations so that people know how to contact you. Another thing to think about is the subject line of your email. So I would recommend don't leave that blank. So make it concise, make it very purposeful so the person knows what they're about to read when they actually read your email. We will also want to highlight 3 functions in email that we, over time, have noticed most S-LTAs haven't been introduced to before, and that is CC, BCC, and reply all. So when you use CC, that stands for carbon copy, that means that you are adding someone on to the email as though it's kind of like an FYI, or you want them to be in the loop by what's going on. This can be really great. So if you're emailing students, you might want to CC your faculty member if it's something you want to keep them in the loop on. You might ask your students to CC you when they email their partner. BCC is a great time it's blind carbon copy. So if you want that person not to be known to the other recipients or for them not to know who else is receiving that email. So sometimes, for example, I might BCC Becca if I want her to be in the loop, though it might be confidential information. And then lastly, reply all can be really important. And Becca and I were just talking about a scenario and why that's so important. When someone sends you an email and there are other people CC'd on that, please click reply all. That allows everyone to know that the conversation is continuing. And so it's really unfortunate to kind of have to pause and be like, wait, whatever happened to that? And that issue might be resolved or that communication line might have ended, but because someone didn't reply all, it's really hard to know that. Lastly, we want you to be mindful of your response time. And so we do not expect you to respond to an email immediately after it comes through. But particularly at the beginning of the semester, you'll notice that a lot of things have to happen faster, so making sure you're carving out time where you can respond. Or if it's a larger request, I think it's always a great idea to email the person back and say, I saw your email and I will get to it by the end of the week or something like that, so at least they know that you've read it and it's on your radar.
Great, so just a few pro tips we'd like to leave you with. First of all, in the service learning world, less is not more. I know that goes against the cliche phrase that we all hear. This is a certain time when more is more. If you are feeling out of the loop, you're feeling unclear, take a step back, collate information, and communicate. Definitely making sure your students are in the loop, your faculty members in the loop, your community partners in the loop can feel like a lot to field, but making sure that you're keeping those lines of communication open is really, really important. Second, when you don't know the answer, it's okay. Take a deep breath, take a step back, utilize the resources that you have at your disposal to figure out how you might help answer a question if one has come up that you're not sure how to approach it. Utilize your team manager. Call them, text them, email them. They should be able to help you walk through almost anything. Utilize your small groups, utilize one another, and utilize your time stopping by the office to check in with us about different things that are going on. Use the phone. Lisa and I probably, if we were paid, I don't know, maybe a nickel for every time we have encountered the issue of someone being really frustrated that someone hasn't gotten back to them, where we've asked the question, have you tried anything other than emailing them? For example, picking up the phone, and they said no, we would be super rich over
rolling
here.
in dollar bills.
Yeah, we would be like bathing in money, like Scrooge Duck style. So make sure that you're picking up the phone. If somebody's not answering emails, it's probably good just to try another approach. Making sure that you're dealing with time sensitivity. So our last slide, we talked a little bit about response time. If it seems like somebody's really anxious about something, or it seems like it is a time sensitive issue, for example, if you find out about a safety issue or something has come up where you are basically the next link in the chain, making sure that you're kind of keeping your eye on different things that are popping up like that. And again, this is kind of reiterating some of what you heard about email etiquette on the former slide, but this applies to all communication that you're going to have throughout the semester, is just to remember to be as specific as possible. There are a lot of moving parts, and it's confusing for you, and it can be confusing for other people. And so just making sure that you're as specific as possible, and looping back around to that second bullet point, when you don't know how to be specific, making sure you're using your resources to figure out how. Hopefully this is helpful in thinking about how to communicate professionally throughout the semester, and we look forward to seeing you soon.